I'm Tom W. McMullian. Greetings to McMullian related family. I want to share some about my great-great-grandfather, who was John McMullian. You might hear some humming in the background. Where I live, it happens to be, it's going to be over 100 degrees today, perhaps 106 degrees, so it's going to be a hot one here. So I prepared a paper about our John McMullian's parentage, or possible parentage, because we really don't know for sure who his parents were at this time. I have a suspicion that his parents may have been an Arthur McMullian, and Arthur's spouse was Susan Galway, and they had lived at Downpatrick on Bridge Street, and we know John had lived at Bridge Street at the time he married in Downpatrick. So under the title of this video, or in the description, I'll include a link to a PDF file that I've written about my research around County Downpatrick, about who John's parents may have been, and maybe other kin that he may have had in that area. He named his first son Arthur, so it would seem that with the naming pattern many used in Ireland, that an Arthur may have been John's father. Another name they used, actually they used it twice because the first son died by this name, was William John. And we really don't know where the William John name came from. Usually the second son is named after the wife's father. And Margaret Orr's father's first name was David. And that was the name of their third son who survived. There was a William George Hurst who was a witness at John and Margaret's wedding, and he was apparently a shoemaker like our John was also. It's possible that John and William Hurst were such good friends that John wanted to use his name for a child, and perhaps used his own name for the middle name. We don't know for sure, but any future researchers do keep an eye out for the possibility of a William John McMullian who may have been related to our John. In my PDF file, I'll share more about other McMullians who had lived at Bridge Street, and apparently there was an Orr family that had always also lived at Bridge Street. Perhaps Margaret worked as a servant for that Orr family. We don't know for sure. We know Margaret was from County Antrim, Ireland, but we don't know the reason she was at County Down, other than we know that she was working as a servant. I'll also share some information about an Arthur McMullian who had served in the British military. He was a shoemaker like our John, and he was a pensioner from the British military, having been released from the military in 1815. So we don't know if this could be John's father, but I think there's a fair possibility that it is John's father. And our John McMullian and Margaret Orr had married at the Downpatrick Cathedral on May 2nd, 1844. In the graveyard of that cathedral are the remains of St. Patrick. I've become a big fan of St. Patrick and the Christian work he did in Ireland. St. Patrick was an interesting person, and he converted a lot of people to Christianity in Ireland over the years that he was there. There seems to be always a debate as to whether St. Patrick was Protestant or Catholic. I'm not sure which. I would lean towards the idea that he was probably a Protestant because of the area that he came from in either England or Wales. he really was never a saint of the Catholic Church, so that was just a title given to him. If anyone has interest, you might find St. Patrick's account of his life called the Confessio interesting. You can Google for that, Google for Confessio of St. Patrick, and you can read his account of his life, which I've found very interesting, and I think you would too. One thing for future researchers of our McMullian line or line to keep in mind is that in 2022 they may reveal some records that have been resurrected. Records were destroyed at the Records Office in Ireland in the early 1920s, and there has been a major effort by Irish to restore many of those records, and they may become freely available online. So this might help with our McMullian and or research and other Irish lines that we may have. So keep an eye out for that. Okay, that's all for now. I'll attach a link to the PDF file so you can review that for your knowledge. And everybody stay cool. I'm going to try. Bye now.